What's going on, Dolphins? It is your boy Dillon, and look, we're about an hour away from kickoff against the 49ers. It's getting close. I'm making this video real quick beforehand because there have been even more updates to the COVID situation, and in fact, another game has been postponed. So week in, week out, this thing continues to get worse. Anyway, I mean, like, it's absolutely fucking ridiculous. I mean, literally, eventually, they're not gonna have people, right? Like, the entire Titans team is fucking shut down pretty much and has been for a minute. But, you know, with all the people that are getting fucking, the virus and all the injuries, I mean, I had some of the games on, or I have, some of the games on right now in the background, muted at the moment because I'm making a video. But, like, I'm watching the Jets, Cardinals game, and there are several injuries in that game already. I saw alerts from other games where there are substantial injuries. Like, they're gonna run out of fucking players, dude. And at some point, I would think that with the injuries, with the fucking COVID outbreaks, I would hope that these players are like, dude, we can't play like this. It's just fucking, it's ridiculous. Anyway, let's get into the details though, because there is a lot more there's a lot to discuss. So it should be quick though. The first thing is the Titans closed their facility after coach tests positive for COVID-19. Tennessee has temporarily shut down its team facility. The Titans announced in a statement Sunday that they closed their facility temporarily after a staff member tested positive for COVID-19. NFL Network's Tom Pelissero reported the staff member was a Titans coach. Tennessee is scheduled to host the Buffalo Bills on Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern in a game that was already rescheduled earlier this week. The Titans are in communication with the league on the next steps, and that could be postponed again as well. The move to close the facility comes just one day after Tennessee returned to the practice field for the first time this month following a COVID-19 outbreak among players and coaches. The facility was finally reopened after nearly 2 weeks following consecutive days of negative COVID-19 tests. That streak was broken Sunday. Tennessee initially closed its facility on September 29th after multiple players tested positive for COVID-19 following their Week 3 game against the Minnesota Vikings. After more Titans players were placed on the reserve COVID-19 list throughout the week, the NFL moved their Week 4 game against the Pittsburgh Steelers to Week 7. The NFL and NFLPA are also looking into multiple unauthorized workouts involving Titans players amid their shutdown. NFL Network's Tom Pelissero reported the investigation is ongoing. Despite all that, Titans coach Mike Vrabel told reporters upon the team's return to the facility that the team would be ready and focused for the Bills and was not going to use any sort of excuse ahead of Tuesday's delayed matchup with Buffalo. I mean, but there's no choice. The game could likely get fucking delayed again, or another game could get delayed, this upcoming one, because of this shit. It's not an excuse. It's just reality. Like, I'm tired of people being like, oh, just the reality of the circumstance is an excuse. Because when people say excuse, it's implied that you're like, bullshitting, that you don't really want to, that you're not trying, something to that effect, right? It has a negative connotation on it. No, sometimes there are just reasons that shit happens because that's the fucking way it is. And it's not an excuse. It's not a fucking, whatever. It's fucking absurd. Anyway, so let's continue on. Tennessee did receive some good news this week as two players, rookie tackle Isaiah Wilson and practice squad defensive back Greg Mabin, were activated off the reserved COVID-19 list Saturday. Great. I mean, they can't control it. They cannot control this situation. It's gonna keep getting out of hand. Anyway, let's continue on though, because there is more. So, additionally, Patriots facility shut down again due to positive COVID-19 tests. The NFL is shutting down the New England Patriots training facility again. An additional Patriots player tested positive for COVID-19 during Saturday's round of testing, causing the facility to be shut down as a precaution, NFL Network's Tom Pelissero reports. The Patriots previously had 0 positive COVID-19 tests from Friday's round of testing and were able to practice on Saturday. This will be the team's third shutdown in the last 10 days. Patriots quarterback Cam Newton's positive COVID-19 test last week resulted in the Patriots' Chiefs game being pushed to Monday night. After the game, a 26-10 loss to Kansas City, cornerback Stephon Gilmore also tested positive. As a result of New England's latest round of testing, the league announced Sunday morning that New England's game against Denver Broncos, moved to Monday night earlier this week, has been postponed. That game was originally scheduled for Sunday, but was moved along with the game between the Buffalo Bills and Tennessee Titans, which is now scheduled for Tuesday night. Tennessee also shut down its facility Sunday after a staff member tested positive for COVID-19. Literally, and I'm giving you guys reports on this every day because it gets worse every day. I mean, anyway, it's absolutely fucking absurd. So, but let's continue on. And I might, to make sure that I cover everything, I might repeat one or two little things here, but I just want to make sure I get all the news out. So let me just get through this. Denver Broncos, New England Patriots postponed after latest positive COVID-19 test. The NFL has postponed Monday night's Week 5 game between the New England Patriots and Denver Broncos in the wake of the latest positive COVID-19 test, the league announced. And like, how long do people think they're going to be able to keep this up? As winter, like we're barely getting into fall, but as we get through fall and winter, which is the primary time for the NFL season, because it's a fall winter sport, like, I just don't understand how people think they can keep this up. Anyway, the Denver Broncos, and if they do, it's literally nothing more than just fucking greed. Anyway, the Denver Broncos at New England Patriots game scheduled for Monday, October 12th at 5 p.m. Eastern has been postponed, the league said in a statement. Details on a new game date and time will be announced shortly. Both teams will now have a Week 5 bye. This decision was made to ensure the health and safety of players, coaches, and game day personnel in consultation with medical experts. Again, they keep saying that, but the fact that they keep pushing the league to go on and the season to go on proves that that is absolutely not the case whatsoever. They are playing with people's lives, and it's a giant fucking disaster. Anyway, because if they really cared, they would just shut down. But they don't care to, because that's their money on the line. It was learned Sunday morning that a Patriots player tested positive for COVID-19 during Saturday's round of testing, which caused their facility to be shut down as a precaution. Let's also note that's problematic. So false positives are a problem. Having real positives is a problem. And the fact that, well, first of all, whatever. And then, sorry, I got a bunch of things going through my head. And then the fact that they did the testing Saturday, but didn't get it back until Sunday is also a major fucking problem. Because then if they would have played, well, to be fair, I guess they wouldn't have, played until Monday anyway. But if they were playing today and they would have got there and fucking played, they could have spread it to the other fucking team. Or additionally, I mean, this actually even does still hold true. Well, the Monday game is also getting postponed, so maybe not so much. But even with the Monday game, there are guys that could have it or get it now and not test positive until after the game, just like Stephon Gilmore, right? So it's just a fucking giant fucking joke. Oh, look, like another injury. AJ Green is doubtful to return. I mean, it's just fucking ridiculous. Anyway, let's continue on. Let's see. NFL Network's Tom Pelissero reports that the NFL has alerted involved teams to the possibility of schedule changes, but no final decision has been made yet on a new date for Broncos-Patriots or related ripple effects on other teams. Broncos-Patriots has already been rescheduled from Sunday afternoon to Monday night earlier this week after cornerback Stephon Gilmore tested positive for COVID-19. The news came after the Patriots played the Kansas City Chiefs on Monday night, which was another game rescheduled from Sunday to Monday after Cam Newton's positive COVID-19 test. The Patriots had consecutive days of negative COVID-19 results ahead of their facility being reopened on Saturday. Sunday's news marks the third game moved to a different week this season, stemming from positive. That's actually, there's like 5 or 6 games at this point, so that's not really totally accurate, but okay. So let's see. The Tennessee Titans Week 4 matchup versus Pittsburgh Steelers was moved to Week 7 last week. The rescheduling affected the Steelers Week 7 game versus the Ravens, which was moved to Week 8. Both the Titans and Steelers served their bye week in Week 4. And teams are, I mean, we're in Week 5 and they're already cutting through a bunch of fucking bye weeks because of this shit. Like, again, I just don't understand how people think that this is, beyond some artificial fucking life support type shit, there's no way that the season can fucking survive. Like, they're literally gonna have to fucking, start pulling players from college teams or some shit, or like, just really fucking pick up dudes off the fucking street at some point. Anyway, let's continue on a little bit. Like I said, I'm trying not to be redundant, but there is more news. Bills Chiefs will be moved from Thursday night to Monday night, October 19th, among several changes. We'll get a Monday NFL matinee, after all, just next week. At halftime of the early Sunday games, Fox Sports' Jay Glazer reported the NFL has decided to move the Kansas City Chiefs Buffalo Bills game to Monday, October 19th at 5 p.m. Eastern time on Fox. That game was supposed to be played on Thursday of Week 6 when the NFL announced the schedule changes. It said nothing about the Bills-Titans game on Tuesday, so it seems Bills-Chiefs is on the move regardless of what happens with Buffalo versus Tennessee. The Titans have had a COVID-19 outbreak, and their game Tuesday still depends on no more positive tests, which they just had one, of course. The New England Patriots-Denver Broncos game was supposed to be played this Monday afternoon, but it was pushed back to next week. Due to positives, the NFL had a long list of schedule changes that come with the most recent moves, including the Denver Broncos at New England Patriots game will be played in Week 6 on Sunday, October 18th at 1 p.m. until it gets delayed again. The Kansas City Chiefs and Buffalo Bills Week 6 games move from Thursday, October 15th to Monday, October 19th at 5. New York Jets at Miami Dolphins game moves from Week 10 to Week 6 at 4:05 p.m. Oh, okay. So, I mean, like, dude, they're literally only going to be able to shuffle this shit around, but for so much longer. But look, okay, so now the Dolphins are affected. New York Jets at Miami Dolphins game moves from Week 10. So now instead of playing them Week 10, now we're going to play them in Week 6. The New York Jets at LA Chargers game moves from Week 6 to Week 11. Jacksonville Jaguars at Los Angeles Chargers game moves from Week 8 to Week 7. So 3 games have been moved, huh? Right here, and I'm not even done yet. But there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. 8 games in just this one list. 8 games that are being moved and rescheduled because of COVID-19. There've only been 3 games. Okay, that's just some fucking, media way of slanting the fucking shit so it looks better than it is. Literally, in this one list, 8 games. The Los Angeles Chargers at Denver Broncos game moves from Week 11 to Week 8. Los Angeles Chargers at Miami Dolphins game moves from Week 7 to Week 10. And Miami Dolphins at Denver Broncos game moves from Week 6 to Week 11. So, I mean, like, apparently they don't give 2 fucks about the Dolphins either, because they are just rescheduling the fuck out of our games, even though we haven't had any positives yet. Anyway, the Bills-Chiefs game is an important one. Both teams came into Week 5 at 4-0, so there will be potential seeding implications on the line. Having a game of that magnitude happen in the middle of the day on Monday is unusual, but so are many things about this NFL season. It's such a fucking joke. Absolute fucking joke. Anyway, so, I mean, it looks like that about wraps it up. I mean, again, it's a joke. It's just a fucking joke, and look, you guys know how I feel. I don't think the season can survive. Literally, if it does, if they push through an entire season, which seems impossible to me. Like, I literally can't fathom it because it just doesn't make sense, right? It's not logical. It's not, it's not conducive to the health and safety of anybody. And it's just a flat out fucking lie. When it's said, when the NFL says that they are postponing games due to health and safety, no, they're postponing games because they want to make sure that the games can still go on, because they still want their fucking money. They want their ad revenue. They want to sell seats, ticket sales, etc., jerseys, blah, blah, blah. So it's just a fucking mess. It's a joke, and it's all bullshit because it's all for the profit of the NFL and the motherfucking owners. And god damn it, dude, like, I mean, even these players, that signed up, like, what are you doing? What are you guys doing right now? Like, all these players that, like, the ones that come to mind, especially because we're about to play them, are some of the 49ers players, like Nick Bosa, Solomon Thomas. You guys thought this was, a good idea to get into the season? Okay, well, the season was fucked from Jump Street because of COVID-19, so was your off season, and that is what allowed you, or played a large part into getting your fucking injuries and ending your season anyway, because of the fact, I mean, they got to play like 2 games. right? So their season has ended anyway because of COVID-19. It's directly ended because of an injury, but the injury happened in large part because of the fucked up offseason, which was due to COVID-19, because they didn't get to properly prepare and get into football shape. So, like, and then all these guys that are fucking getting COVID, like, do they think it's really worth it? Because even if they don't die now, it's likely, I mean, the science to this point, there's still so much they don't know about it, but there is some science that is fucking clear. And it's clear that this thing causes absolutely immense damage to the body and multiple different organs inside, including the brain, the heart, the lungs. Like, it's absurd. So, like, do these guys really think that, like, you know, potentially ending their life at a young age is worth it? I mean, I know we live in this horribly capitalist world where you gotta make a fucking living and you gotta earn a fucking paycheck because we're all fucking slaves for the corporate elites, you know, but I mean, it's just, it's fucking gross. Anyway, I'm gonna get up out of here. The game's coming on in about 45 minutes. I mean, it's just, it's infuriating. It really is. And like, I could go on and on about it all day. And honestly, I'm really getting tired because nobody fucking listens, dude. Nobody fucking listens. I stay stuck at like 300, 310 fucking subscribers. In fact, I'll get a subscriber or two and then I'll lose one or two because people can't handle the fucking truth. They can't handle the reality. They can't handle the commentary because it's supposedly negative, even though I'm just the fucking messenger and I'm just relaying the reality of the world, and which is the cause of, you know, people like the NFL and the owners and our politicians who create the negativity, create the chaos and the disaster, and people hate me for reporting that to you. Whatever, dude, listen, people don't fucking listen. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of trying to convince people, you know, that this is bad or this is wrong and fucking it's gonna be devastating, because people don't listen and they just have proven that they just have to learn everything the fucking hard way. And not just the hard way, but literally in the most excruciating way possible. Like, you know, just real quick side note, and I know it's a little off topic, but anybody who thinks that Joe Biden is gonna fucking, even if he does miraculously win this election, Joe Biden is not going to change anything. And guess what, people? Joe Biden will do absolutely nothing. He's not going to ban fracking. He's not going to fucking stop the fossil fuel subsidies to these big corporations. And guess what? The world will be uninhabitable and, you know, or, excuse me, irreversible damage that will cause the planet to become uninhabitable inevitably will happen at longest in 7 years from now. We have 7 years at most to prevent irreversible damage that will inevitably cause our life-sustaining planet to be uninhabitable. I don't know if people understand what that word means. Uninhabitable. It means life cannot survive. Okay? The storms, the landmass is disappearing, the pH balance and the salinity balance of the oceans being thrown off. The fact that they can no longer hold the heat. The temperature is constantly rising. The storm's getting worse. I think I might have mentioned that. Like, the diseases, the unknown diseases. Like, if you think COVID's, the pandemic with COVID is bad, just wait until some of these diseases. There's like 30 some odd diseases that are being released from the Arctic ice right now. Because of climate change that we don't even know about. We have absolutely no idea, and they're all being released at the same fucking time. So, you know, and they're not dead, they just lay dormant in that fucking ice. And so when they come out, oh, guess what? Now they're gonna start ravaging the fucking earth, and we're gonna have multiple pandemics popping up at different times. Dude, it's a fucking joke. The world is on course for fucking ruin, and all life on this planet is on course for extinction. So look, man, I'm tired of fucking trying to convince people. Nobody wants to fucking listen. Buckle up. Life's gonna get real rough, and prepare for a fucking sticky end and a sticky demise. And if people want to fucking hate me because I'm fucking sounding the warning and I'm passionate about it and I don't fucking let up with my, you know, with that passion, well, I mean, you can fuck right the fuck off, because this is my motherfucking future too. And if you don't care about yours, fine, I don't care. How about you go kill yourself and just fucking deal with it that way? And you know, let me have a fucking future, and everybody who does want to have a fucking future. If you don't care about the future, go get COVID. Go fucking jump into a wildfire or some shit. Rid the fucking planet of your dumbass and your fucking stupidity so the rest of us can maybe go on and to have a future. Anyway, whatever. I'm fucking pissed now, so I'm gonna get up out of here. I hope you guys appreciate my perspective. Probably not. Again, nobody listens. Fine. Fucking suffer and fucking despair. I don't give a shit. I'm getting out of here. But if you do appreciate my perspective, then hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell if you want to get the alerts. Share my channel and videos with your friends and family. Leave a question, comments, and concerns down in the comment section. Of course, as always, follow me on Twitter at Dillon Tartaro. And with that, I'm out. I'll see y'all soon. Fins up.